Hi friends, many of your teachers and mentors would have told you that arithmetic and algebra constitute close to about 75% of the CAT paper. So does that mean that you need to skip geometry? My suggestion is no. If you can spend the next 10 days focusing on a few things that I'm going to tell you, geometry should be done. And this could mean about 10 to 12 marks. So what's important in geometry? First, geometry is a little different compared to, let's say, arithmetic or algebra, from the simple reason that geometry is more like an investigative way of solving questions. You're given clues and you're expected to figure out what the answer is. So the methods are about retrieving theorems, retrieving some past information that you have about that figure and trying to collate it or trying to corroborate that with the data that you have. That's what geometry is. So what is it that you need to know? Theorems. You need to know theorems in the forward direction and also as a converse, in the reverse. For example, I say some of the angles of a triangle is 180 degrees or a straight angle is 180 degrees, right? I mean, if I take AB and BC, it's a straight angle. If it's a straight line, you see that this angle is 180. Now, if I look at when I say the converse and I show you a figure and I say this angle is 180, I must be able to conclude that it's a straight line. So this is what I mean by converse. So it's important for you whenever you study a theorem to ask whether is the converse always true, because that to me is the critical part of solving geometry. So the most important part of acing geometry is knowing theorems both in the forward as well as the converse direction. What are the important parts? Triangles. There's so many questions that I know which have been asked on the simple property of triangle that sum of two sides is greater than the third side. I can recollect at least 2 or 3 questions of CAT in the last few years. Then similarity of triangles. This is probably the most common concept that you will find in a CAT geometry question. Then you have circles. Then you have some other simple concepts linked to parallelograms or, let's say, regular polygons. The three-dimensional part of geometry, which is your mensuration, can figure not just as a part of standard quant, but also as LRDI. For instance, a couple of years back, we saw in CAT, there was a question about cubes being cut. A lot of people skipped it because they said, oh, cubes, I don't want to touch it. My view is, I think you decide to skip it after giving it a try for 10 days. So what's the way to do it? 10 days, 300 questions of geometry of the past few years CAT papers. That is sufficient for you to get a sense of what geometry is like in CAT. All the best. Give your time, give your best, and I'm sure that 10 days of geometry should help you ace geometry in CAT.
Career Launcher. Make your parents explode with joy.